4 years ago, I left everything in my home country and moved to Bali to start my digital nomad journey, but I had basically zero income. I was not sure if I could make it work, I was scared and I didn't really have a backup plan. But today I'm earning more than $100,000 per year while living my dream lifestyle, and honestly I'm so glad I took the leap. In this video I will share exactly how I went from 0 to 100k as a digital nomad. The struggles, the lucky breaks, the scary moments, and the lessons I wish someone had told me earlier. Because if I can do it starting with no money, no plan, I believe you can too. So the part 1 of this story is taking the leap. When I was living in Finland studying in university, I was studying engineering. I didn't ever really like school. I was good at it naturally, but I didn't like it. I always wanted to build my own business, have a full freedom to live anywhere I like. I don't really like living in Finland. It's cold, bad weather, all that. So I wanted to move to Bali or this kind of like warm place with a lot of like-minded people and a lot of activities to do any time of the year outside and have a lot of sun. So yeah, that was the dream. And at that point, I already tried for a few years in Finland to start different kind of online businesses to be able to move here, but nothing really succeeded. I didn't really stick with anything. But from those businesses, basically what I had left was my Instagram page. That was originally what I was building for one of the businesses to market my products I was selling online. So through that whole journey, I started to also create content myself, taking pictures, learning all kind of photography and videography skills. And with those, I was building my Instagram page back then, and I didn't really know what I actually want to do, but yeah, I was kind of enjoying it, and I was meeting some people online, and we were doing some trips in Europe. And somehow just randomly Bali opened up back then during pandemic, and both of those people I was traveling with at that time wanted to also move to Bali. So we were just like, should we just go? It was such a like taking the leap because I didn't have much money. I have zero income basically. I was still doing online classes for my university and I had like $3,000 in my bank account. So yeah, it was a bit scary. It was very scary, but I thought, okay, like if I just go to Bali, maybe I will be able to figure it out. The worst case scenario, I'm just there for a few months and then I need to come back and figure out some kind of job I can do in Finland while figuring things out. So yeah, it was super exciting when I moved to Bali. It felt like there's all these opportunities. I was meeting new people. It was amazing. But it was also super stressful because I didn't have any income. I wasn't sure if I will be able to make any income because I didn't have any experience with this before. So yeah, not to glorify this story and this path I took, I was definitely feeling bad like most of the days back then. Even if it was amazing to live here, I loved it. And I was sure I want to keep doing this, living here. But I was just like, yeah, sometimes crying every day because I was so stressed. I was working 24/7, no income, and just so worried. And like I was so lost and wasn't really sure what I should do. But the good thing is that back then everything was super affordable in Bali because it was pretty closed. So there were not many people. So nowadays it's not that cheap. So if you are in the same situation, Bali might not be the best destinations. You can look into Da Nang and Chiang Mai, for example, to start in more affordable place, so you can have this effect still in 2025 and onwards that you don't need to worry about money too much even if you have just a little bit of savings in the beginning. So I would highly recommend that. And now we come to the part 2 of the story, which is the next few months after moving to Bali. I was actually starting to make some money with like brand collaborations, with like photography and different partnerships and things like this for Instagram, photography, like content creation, and even some for my YouTube channel that I just recently started before moving to Bali. So it was kind of looking that there's actually some potential. At this point, I started to feel like, okay, maybe I can actually do this. I'm making some money, like $1,000 per month or even a little bit more. So I was excited, but it was still really difficult because I knew that what I actually want to do at this point was YouTube, but I wasn't really making almost any money on YouTube at this point because it was a brand new channel and it takes a while for YouTube to get to the point when you're actually making money with it. So I was a bit stressed and I didn't really enjoy the photography and Instagram anymore. So I was basically wanting to do YouTube, but it's not making any money, so I needed to figure out like what should I do. And at that point I figured I should ask from one big healthcare company in Finland that I used to work in the IT department before when I was studying in uni, like summer jobs and these kind of things. if they would have some things that I could help them with remotely, so I could get some like stable income from that and not worry about money too much while I'm building my YouTube channel. And luckily enough, they actually said, yeah, they have like a lot of things I could do, like just figure out some Excels and some data management. So I got a remote job from them that was part-time with flexible hours. I just had some meetings I need to attend, but it was pretty flexible, and I was sometimes working like half day, sometimes full-time there for the next few years. So it was actually a pretty perfect setup, because living in Bali, like the income I was making was pretty low for Finland standards. It was still good enough for me at that point, and I could fully focus on building my YouTube channel while not stressing about money and knowing that I can keep living this lifestyle, as it was of course part of my channel also, so it would be bad if I can't keep living here. So it was pretty perfect setup. So yeah, I would always recommend if you can do something similar, because to build your dream life and your dream business, it can take a while. Usually it often takes like a year, 2 years, 3 years to get to the point that you're actually making good money with your business. So having the peace of mind while building your dream business can be pretty perfect, because then you also don't need to chase the money at this moment so much. So you can do more sustainable growth and like build your business sustainably. Like in my case, especially if it's something with like your audience or something like this, it's better to do like good content, keep your topic really good and clear, so long term it's not gonna get too messy, and actually doing something that you really want to do long term, even if it's not making the most money the most quickly. And by the way, opening and running a business across borders is exciting, but juggling company registration, multi-currency, payments, bookkeeping and expenses, that can be a headache. Hong Kong is one of the world's top destinations for entrepreneurs, with a simple tax system, low corporate tax rates, no VATs, and no tax on overseas profits, making it the perfect base for a global business. And that's where Osome, the partner of this video, comes in. They help you register your Hong Kong company 100% online, handle all the government paperwork, provide expert accounting and tax support from day one. And now Osome has teamed up with Aspire, the all-in-one business account built for global entrepreneurs. So with Osome handling your company setup, bookkeeping and compliance, and Aspire making your global business finances effortless, you got everything you need to start and grow your business in Hong Kong. So click the first link in the description to start your Hong Kong business today with Osome and Aspire, and run it from anywhere in the world. But now back to the video. So the next part of this story is the 2 years that followed. Basically me fully focusing on building my YouTube channel. I completely stopped doing any other business ventures like Instagram, photography, all that. I didn't care about that anymore. I wanted to do YouTube. I wanted to be able to make it to be a full-time job. I wasn't ever sure if I could actually do that. I was kind of doubtful. When people say you need to manifest what you want and you need to be confident to be able to succeed and things like this, I wasn't really. Like, I wanted it and I wanted to work for it, but I wasn't sure if I can do it. I was kind of always thinking that it's probably not possible, because yeah, I'm just a normal guy from Finland. I'm introvert, not so good English. Like, I was not sure if I can do it, but I really wanted to try. And these 2 years were quite tough, because I wasn't new to Bali anymore. I was already here for like 6 months at this point. So everything was kind of like normal here already, and I was working for 2 jobs basically full time. So yeah, pretty much full time hours for my part-time IT job, while doing YouTube channel, like 1 video per week and all that. Like, it takes quite much time and effort and like brain power. So doing both of these at the same time, it was quite overwhelming sometimes. And like, yeah, I was definitely burned out a little bit like this whole time. But in the end of the day, I was still living my dream life. I was living in Bali, traveling in Southeast Asia, creating content. I was excited about my YouTube. I was still not sure after 1 year, 2 years after starting YouTube if I can actually make it. But I was really building that slowly. But now we come to the turning point of this story. Part 4, which was the scary decision. Basically, I was in Koh Phangan at this point, and I was getting so annoyed by doing my remote job while doing YouTube. The days went on and I just couldn't handle it. At this point, I was really thinking about it like every day. I was taking long walks and thinking like, should I just stop the remote job? I was basically making like $1,500 per month, like at least that at that point from YouTube, but it didn't feel super stable. Like I wasn't sure, like maybe in a few months it's gonna go down again. So I was quite scared because I was also thinking if I quit the job, maybe I'm not gonna be able to return it if things don't really work out with YouTube. But somehow, as I couldn't really handle the burnout, I also just broke up with my ex also a few months before. I was just like dealing with quite much. I thought, okay, I think I just need to take the leap again. Like for sure it's gonna work out. I just felt like it just feels right. Like I think it's gonna work out. I can't handle this job anymore. I can just like focus more on YouTube, post way more videos, and maybe it will be way more successful from that point. So yeah, I just took the leap again and quit the remote job. And yeah, it was very scary again. I was really worried. There was many times like when I was doing the decision, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. But then in a few hours, I was like, oh no. I'm so scared. I think this is not a good idea. Should I still do it? But yeah, I ended up just doing it. And after that comes to part 5 of the story, which is the breakthrough of my YouTube. So now I was basically a full-time YouTuber. First, it seemed like, okay, like I'm making at least some money, I have some savings, so I'm not in struggle mode yet. But what happened actually, I think just because of the focus I had now for YouTube, I didn't need to do all these other things. Even if I wasn't actually posting more videos, I was still handling with the breakup and all that. So still my income just super quickly went to like more than $3,000 per month. And I went to Da Nang, Vietnam again for the second time, and some of those videos just blew up. And yeah, it was good time for my channel. I was getting like really good views all the time. Actually, only after a few months since I quit my job, my income was already like $6,000 per month just from YouTube, which was incredible. Like I felt so good. I was like, wow, like that was really the right decision to quit the job. Like I finally achieved my dream, basically. I was living my dream lifestyle, whatever I want to do, and only working on my own business, only working on the thing that I always wanted to work on, which is YouTube. So yeah, it was incredible. I was so happy that I quit the job. Like basically I felt free, like fully free, finally. And by the way, if you're interested in this kind of freedom lifestyle and living abroad, check out my school community, the Nomad tribe, where you can meet a lot of like-minded people in the meetups and calls. And also we have a WhatsApp group chat that is super active, so you can always ask questions, connect with people there. So you don't need to struggle with things on your own anymore. You get answers from me and other members who have already went through it. There's also over $900 worth of resources inside the tribe, so it will really help with your journey. And if you're interested in starting a YouTube channel, there's also my YouTube masterclass inside the tribe for free, which is basically all the secrets that I have learned about this kind of business over the years. So yeah, I will leave a link in the description for the community also, so check it out. But yeah, it was pretty incredible what happened since I quit the job, which makes me think that maybe I could have done it way earlier, because after 9 months, I was already making $10,000 per month consistently until this day now. So yeah, it's been really good when it comes to money since I quit the job. Like it was just incredible to see how quickly things changed. I guess because I had way more time to focus on my own products and different kind of business models, not just posting videos and working the remote job. So yeah, at that point I was able to pay off all my student loan debt. I was starting to save more money, even do some investing into stocks. So everything was pretty good. Like everything was super stable and looked like, yeah, I don't need to worry about anything. But there came another new stress, which was like, can I still keep this going? Because yeah, with YouTube, like the views go up and down, the money go a little bit up and down. So yeah, it still hasn't been like stress free. There's still things I need to learn definitely about this thing, like why I still feel worried now when all my eggs are basically in this one basket, which is my own business, which can be quite scary. But at the same time, I still believe that it's way more in my own control than if I would have a remote job or even some kind of business that I do like more like an agency style, like doing like services to different businesses or something like that. I still feel like this is probably the best business model I could have. So some lessons for these past 4 years going through all this. One is that I wanted to give up so many times, or I thought about like giving up, or I was quite down many times. But I feel like after I saw that it can work out and like I can do this, when I had the evidence that I'm actually making good money consistently, I never thought about like giving up anymore. I was sometimes tired, sometimes stressed, all that, but I never thought about giving up. But you should really know that there's so many people doing so many different kind of businesses, being successful with that. That's the good thing about also living in Bali. And this kind of place, you just meet people and you know like anything is kind of possible. But you should still have a good strategy and good path to do something that is like in demand nowadays, because there's many business models that used to be really good, but now with AI and all that, it's not really working. That's one lesson I also saw. Over the years, there were many people who had a pretty good business with something, but then now they're struggling because it wasn't really the most sustainable long-term business model. And also a big point about the stability of having a job. It can be good in the beginning, so you can focus on building your business, but long-term, it's kind of like fake stability. It's not really stable, like you can lose it anytime. And what you're gonna do then? Like if you have a good business model, you build a lot of skills, there's way more opportunities with that. Even if something happened to your business, you can start another business, collaborate with other people for some kind of project, or you can get some kind of job based on those skills that you learn from your business. Especially if you enjoy the idea of having freedom and having your own business, it's a really good idea to start that and start learning the skills needed for that. And one big lesson is to build slow and sustainably, because I also met a lot of people who do similar business than I do, but they were chasing the views, chasing the money in the beginning, and what they're doing now is something completely different because you were just chasing the wrong audience and wrong topics. And also what I realized that it's really important to not give up when you feel hopeless. It can be better sometimes to just take a break, just think about things and feel how, like what direction should you take. Taking breaks are usually also have been the times that I figure something out, like what should I do better and what should I change. And then after the break, things started to like go a little bit more faster and go to the right direction. So yeah, it can be very important to sometimes also take a break for like few weeks. So yeah, if you are dreaming of moving abroad, building your own business and this kind of life of freedom, it is possible. I'm a living proof of that, so hope you got value out of this video. Please like the video and subscribe, and see you next week.